Okay, now. So we are saying that today's journey basically will find that it will be a start of a very interesting journey. Maybe for those who are not familiar of what Power Business Intelligence is, you'll find that Power Business Intelligence is a tool that we normally tend to use to basically analyze, visualize, and also giving insights to our data. Like previously, how we've been reporting, you'll find that a person stands there with a PowerPoint, yeah? You're having your presentation software. You want to present your data by just, of course, highlighting whatever that has been presented. So what Power Business Intelligence does differently, you'll find that it is not the era of just presenting our data. It is not the era of just explaining the figures and the values that you have on that PowerPoint. No, nowadays you'll find that investors talk about the users of this data. They'll want to get more insight. You see, they'll want to get a story behind the data. So it's not just about, of course, just presenting the data the way you used to do traditionally. Nowadays, it's all about what? It's all about bringing the story behind the data. And bringing the story behind the data, how do you bring the story behind the data? To bring the story behind the data, you'll find that this is where the insights will come in. This is where it will be upon you to present and give insights to your data. And this is what Power BI does. So throughout this training, what will you be expected to cover? I'd shared a certain timeline or outline, which will enable us to go through this whole course. And by the end of this, I know you guys will be very different. Yeah, you can't compare with how maybe you will be when you're starting. So at this point, whatever that you'll be expected to cover at this point, we have like 8 modules. The first module will be for us to be introduced to, of course, Power Business Intelligence. That is introduction to Power BI. So at this point, we'll be expected to learn, of course, what Power BI is. We'll also be expected to understand the components of Power Business Intelligence, talk about the installation and the interface. And I think I'd share that software earlier on. I don't know if at all we managed to download and install the software, but I'd share the software earlier on in the groups. I believe that for those who had managed to download, then it will be an easy task to us. We have the aspect of module 2. Now, module 2, this is where our journey will commence, a very interesting journey. Talk about connection to our data sources. In this case, you'll find that probably you are used to maybe Excel. In this case, and the Excel that maybe you can say probably you're used to, maybe it is the basic Excel. Some of us, if at all we are to prepare maybe aspects of dashboards in Excel, you'll find that it will be somehow a challenge. So what we do in this case, we'll find that we will be able to understand the whole bit of database. And in the context of understanding the database, you'll find that we have various tools that we normally tend to use, which include, of course, SQL, of which at this point, I'll just take you briefly through what SQL does. We have the aspect of importing data from online services. In this case, what you're doing at this point, I don't know how many of us have used Google Analytics by show of hands. Who has used Google Analytics by show of hands? Google Analytics. Who has managed to use Google Analytics by show of hands? Don't tell me that no one has used Google Analytics. Yeah, it seems that Monimu will have a very hard task. Yeah, who has used Google Analytics? Just be honest with yourself. By raise of hand, who has used Google Analytics? Okay. Okay. So Faustina is asking what is that? Google Analytics. Okay. I know SharePoint. SharePoint is very uncommon, but Google Analytics, you must have used it. We must have used it at some point. Yeah, Tabla is somehow related to Tabla, Mercy. The concept of Tabla also, we have it here in Power BI at some point. Okay, no worries, we'll get there. Yeah, we'll get there. So at this point, you'll find that we'll also learn how to connect to financial statement, that is Excel, and preparing for analysis. Module 3 now, it is I believe Power Query, majority of us might have used Power Query, right? Because it is in most of the Excel from 2016, where we normally use Power Query to clean our data. By show of hands, who have used Power Query in Excel, at least to try to clean your data? Just by show of hands, who has used Power Query? Who has used Power Query? At least, maybe even if at all you're doing your training or day-to-day tasks, who has used Power Query? Who has used Power Query? Power Query is a common Excel tool where we normally tend to use Power Query at least to clean our data. By show of hands, who has used Power Query? Power Query. I believe these are Power Query is just Power Query, Mercy. Yeah? Power Query is just Power Query. We don't have any other language whereby you normally tend to clean your data in a sense that you can clean your data and also automate your tasks. You can clean your data and automate your tasks. Okay, sure, no worries. That's why you're here to learn. Yeah, that's why we are here to learn. So we have aspect of cleaning our data, which will be required to understand how to clean our data. We have, of course, aspect of that is the normal way of creating a chart of accounts. In this case, of course, we'll be able to do it in our. We'll be able to do this, of course, in our. We'll be able to do this in our Excel. Yeah. So in this case, we also have the aspect to do with data modeling relationships. Now, this is a bit of now the most interesting part. This is now where Power BI always comes to be very, very interesting. Because at this point, mostly whenever we're about, of course, the aspect to do with DAX is simply data analysis expression. And this is the language that we normally tend to use majorly when it comes to Power Business Intelligence. Because remember, at this point, you are tasked with the responsibility of creating a model that you're going to communicate with the users. As I've told you, you'll find that nowadays, it is no longer about just using PowerPoints. No, it's no longer about using PowerPoints. Because what aspect or what Power BI does, it will enable you to see the patterns and trends. See, it will enable you to share this insight, and it will enable you to combine this data. See, it will enable you to combine the data. So in this case, you'll find that how will I communicate with Power Business Intelligence tool? Then there is this important element that we're about what? DAX, introduction to, that is data analysis expression, a very important tool that you're going to at least interact with it as we use what? As we use Power Business Intelligence. We have the aspect to do with data visualization. At least I think in this class, I must guide you on a very simple tool in Excel, how to visualize our data, so that when we step to Power Business Intelligence, at least we'll be having a bit of knowledge in Excel. So we have data visualization, now presenting our set as required. We talk about, of course, aspect to do with advanced financial analysis with DAX. Now, this is a more of advanced part of our Power Business Intelligence, because at this point, we will be engaged in at least writing a certain language that will communicate with Power BI tool. And that is what we normally refer still as what? As DAX. That is, of course, data analysis expression. Just like the way I can communicate with a child is not the same way I can communicate probably with an adult. So in this case, if at all there is a difference, or if at all people cannot maybe get each other, then you'll find that communication might be a barrier. So what DAX does, DAX enable you as the owner or the person who is using Power Business Intelligence to communicate with this tool. You are giving this tool an instruction. You're telling this tool, this is what you're supposed to do, and this is what you're not supposed to do. So literally, you're going to learn that language. So that in the event that maybe you're doing this at your office or at your workplace, your boss has given you a data to analyze, you can do this analysis within 3 minutes or within 5 minutes, to the point that even your boss will be like, where did you learn all these elements? That's the most beautiful part with Power Business Intelligence. So you'll find that module 6 is all about us learning more of what? Learning more of DAX. That is data analysis expression. Creating interactive dashboards, the same case you're going to do with Excel, just before you jump to Power Business Intelligence, so that you can be able to learn and understand how do we normally create the dashboards. Whenever we want to do a presentation, let us not just be like the other people they normally tend to present just normally. At least give some, if I told you the lack of a better word, put some ingredients. See, put some ingredients in your presentation, to the point that once you're done with that presentation, everyone in that room would be like, where did you learn all this? Where did you learn all this? So in this context, you'll find that module 7 will be able to understand how to create, of course, the interactive dashboards. We have now module 8, where at this point, I'll also guide you on how to work as a team. Because with the world that you are living in today, you realize that you're having a workmate who is in South Africa. You're having a workmate who is probably in London. You're having a workmate who is in US. And in this case, you're working on the same project. So the question would be, how are we going to connect all these teams together? Whereby you're working on the same project, and whatever that you're doing is updated on a real-time basis. That's the world that we are living in today. You'll find that I'll be having team members all across the world, but we are working on one project. So how are we going to connect all these? And that's the reason why each and every person will be attending, of course, this training. You'll be given an organizational email. The organizational email of mdarasa. Say if at all it is Felix, felix.mdarasa. Say if at all it is Ezekiel, ezekiel.mdarasa, nick.mdarasa, so that we will be able to connect as a group, whereby I'll give you a task, you work as a team, you've never met, but you'll be working as a team to accomplish this project. And that's the most beautiful part now with Power Business Intelligence. You can work on the same project regardless of our geographical maybe location, but we deliver on the same case. See, and also in addition to that, you'll find that when it comes to presentation, by now I know all of us, we know that artificial intelligence is literally taking over most of the tasks. And it is not that artificial intelligence is going to replace us, no, but the people who are good in such skills like Power Business Intelligence and a bit of AI, these are the people who are going to replace the ones who are not updated. So I repeat the statement again, artificial intelligence and the concept that we're having in our finance integrated, it is not going to replace you, but the person who is going to replace you is a person who is conversant with the tools, such like the one that you're going to train in the next 2 weeks. These are the people who are going to replace those who don't have the skills. So it is important at least to ask yourself, where do you want to position yourself? Where do you want to position yourself? See? So module 3, of course, module 8, we talked about sharing our data. Now, by the time you are through with our training, before you are granted a certificate, because at the end of the day, you are going to be granted a certificate after the training. But for you to earn this certificate, we'll give you a project. And this project, you must do it to completion, including presenting the dashboards and at the same time giving or sharing whatever that you've done in the work mail that will have shared. So only after you are done with the project, that is when you're going to be awarded certificate of completion. That is the only time that you're going to be awarded certificate of completion, because the approach that you're looking at this point, let us not just do this for a certificate. See, let us not just do this for a certificate. The mind that I want us to have in mind as you're starting this training is that you want to obtain a skill that very few have. That should be the approach. What you're doing in this training, you want to obtain a skill that very few people do have. Certificate will come just simply to rubber stamp whatever skill that you have acquired. And that's why I've insisted, before you are granted a certificate, you must complete the project that you're going to share. You must complete the project that we are going to share. That is the only point that you're going to be granted a certificate, because the whole idea and the focus majorly of this training is more of the skill than that a certificate. So that if at all we can take a group of people who have this knowledge of power business intelligence, and they'll be given a task and accomplish that task successful, then it should be among this team. It should be among this team. So certificate, yes, will come, but after the skills. And how will you know you gather the skill? After you have completed the project successfully. That is what you're going to do. That's what you're going to do. Yeah. So in this case, that is the outline that we will be having. In addition to that, this training will be given a trainee manual, in a sense that after each and every task, you must fill it and show at least just for your own progress to track whatever that you have, whatever that you learn. And this participant workbook, let me just share with us so that you'll be able to understand how we'll be working. This is how our participants workbook will be. Of course, each one of us will be having it. I think this was shared as well. This was shared as well. You see, these are participants workbook. This will be our guide. At each and every point, at least say like we are doing section 1, that is say like introduction to power business intelligence. This is how we are going to work. We've introduced all these elements, as at that particular time, at least you must put the notes. If at all the space is not enough, you can always add. Put the notes on what you've learned, because the same notes will enable you to do the project clearly. So each and every participant will be having this participant workbook, which should be our guide. Say like you're talking about connecting to data sources. At this point, have you managed to, or can you import the Excel and database files? In this case, can you be able to do a BQ? So as at the end of the day, you must fill in this workbook at each and every time that we are doing our training, because we've said it is more of skills, and this will just be like a guide that will enable us to fill in whatever that we might have learned, So this is what we'll be able to get among the resources. Of course, the other resources are also shared, whereby I'd shared in the group, whereby we'll be having a case-by-case study on how to understand how Power Business Intelligence works. And the interface, I don't know, I hope all of us, we have downloaded and installed the Power Business Intelligence tool. So ideally, this is a software. Literally, for now, you'll find it to be as plain as that. But as you work on, you'll find that you'll be able to go ahead and present your data. Let me see if at all I can drag this file to us so that you can be able to see the end results that you'll be achieving. As at now, you'll find that, yes, our Power BI looks like that. But eventually, as at the end of the day, you can achieve something like this. Let me share. Let me try share with us here. Because it is all about presenting your data, and the way you present your data matters a lot. Because what you're doing, you want to automate your tasks. That is what you're doing. You are automating your tasks. So a moment here, let me share with us.
Recording in progress.
So as at the end of the day, you'll be able to achieve this. Let me share with us. You see, this data is plain. Eventually, you'll be able to achieve this. Let me share with us here. You'll be able to achieve this element. You'll be able to achieve. These are one of the data that you'll be using. So while doing your presentation, as at the end of the day, these are what you can be able to achieve. See, including a map in your data, including your map in your presentation, whereby you can easily maneuver through your set and get the insight of what you're presenting. See, you can easily come and get the insight of each and every segment or probably location that you're presenting your set. So eventually you'll find that what you've done with your data, you are literally you're giving the story behind your data. There's a story behind your data. So see what you're having on plain, this is what you're having. See, this is what you're having, the way it is like this. But as at the end of the day, once you guys are good, and in this case, you've established that concept of Power Business Intelligence knowledge, you will be able to present the final set like this, which you can do a presentation anywhere that you want to do it, anywhere that you want to do a presentation. You will be achieving whatever that we have presented there. A very interesting tool. As much as probably I know Excel at some point, it can give us our dashboard. So you'll find that in this context, we are going to literally bringing alive in our data. It is not just a static presentation, but we are going to bring alive in our data. So this is what Power Business Intelligence will do. And by the time we are done with our training, you guys should be able to present this data the way it is, and even more interactive than whatever that we presented here. Because Power BI, it is something that will give us such a report. So maybe before we jump to the next segment, I want to invite questions. Before we jump to the next segment, I want to invite questions. Before I jump to the next segment, I've just given you an overview of what you're going to cover in Power BI. See, an overview of what you're going to cover in Power BI. So at this point, I want anyone with a question. FM, I can see you asked. That is good. I'm going to answer that right away. Any question before we jump to the next bit? There's something I want us to do today. Yeah, I know it is just an overview, but I've realized I must touch something on Excel so that we can relate. I must touch something on Excel so that you can relate. Yeah, I want us to do a magic with Excel right now. I want us to do a certain magic with Excel right now, because I've realized that at some point, based on the questions that I've been asking, I've realized that I must at least guide something in Excel. Yes, Ezekiel, we'll be having, of course, we'll be having a guide which I'm going to share. The app, I think it was shared earlier on, the Power BI application. Power BI application. Yeah, Power BI application. Jom, I always love slow learners. You guys are my kind of you're my best friends, actually, slow learners. I know for those who have attended some of my sessions, they know. So so don't worry, okay? Don't worry. Yeah, you're in the right place. Yeah, don't worry, you're in the right place. I want us to do something here, and you're going to agree. You're going to agree that you guys are my best friends. Yeah, you guys are my best friends. So, guys, any question? Any question? There's something that I want us to do here right now. There's something I want us to do here right now. It is a bit of advanced Excel, yes, but I'm going to look at it on a whole layman's perspective. On a whole layman's perspective. So that we can relate, okay, this is what we're having in our Power Business Intelligence, or what will be expected to achieve. Relate it with what you can do with Excel. Relate it with what you can do in Excel. Okay, relate with what you can do in Excel. So what I'm going to do, right now, let me share this data. I'm sharing it in our chat. I hope that all of us will join with our PCs. Kindly, through this training, I'll expect us at least to be attending the session using a PC, using a computer, using your laptop. Really hope that through this training, we'll be attending this. FM, I haven't forgotten about your query. I'm answering it right now, of course. So this is what I want us to do. Let me share this data. We just do one magic with Excel. A very simple concept that you guys, I know you're going to follow it very well. Let's just do this one magic with Excel, because the end game that we want to achieve with Power Business Intelligence, I'm sharing the software. It was already shared, but I'm still going to share. It was already shared, but I'm still going to share. So I'll just do a certain magic here right now with Excel, so that you can relate what the end game will be, what our end game will be. So check on your chart right now. Check on your chart. Right now. You can check on your chart. There's something that I want us to do right now, just to get a feeling of what we'll be having in our Power Business Intelligence. Confirm there's a certain Excel doc that I've shared in the chat. Confirm the receipt. Confirm the receipt of that document kindly. Confirm the receipt of that document in Excel I've shared with us. Confirm the receipt I've shared with us in Excel. If you are told you've received, just put high five or a thumbs up. If at all you've received, just put a thumbs up. There's a magic that I want us to share. There's a magic that I want us to learn right now. Just before even we jump to Power Business Intelligence, because this is what we'll be dealing with in Power BI. This is what we'll be dealing with in Power BI. Confirm you've received. I want us all to do this practical together. I want us all to do this together. So you see that document? I want us to create a very quick dashboard. With that document that I've shared. I want us to create a very quick dashboard with that document that I've shared in the group, in the chat. So this is a document of sales. These are document of sales. There's something that I know we can achieve right now as we introduce Power Business Intelligence. There's something that I know we can achieve right now as we introduce this bit. I believe all of us have confirmed. I've seen Ezekiel has not confirmed. If at all they have received the document, Jerome has not confirmed, Felix has not confirmed, Henry has not confirmed. I'm not sure if at all you guys will receive the doc. Great. Great. So there's something that I want us to do here very quick, and you're going to see how interesting, if at all Excel is that interesting, or about, of course, Power Business Intelligence. I want us to do this together. I want us to create a very quick dashboard. This is just, but of course, an intro bit. This is just Excel, not even Power BI. This is just Excel, not even Power BI. So you see this dashboard of ours. I want us to do a certain magic here. I want us to do a certain magic at this point. I want us to create a dynamic dashboard using this data. I want us to create a dynamic dashboard. I want us to create a dynamic dashboard using this data that you're having here. In a sense that you're given a task to present probably with your boss, or maybe you're given a task to present probably with maybe a team that you want to present probably to the shareholders or the users of the financials. So there's this item that I want us to create. I want us to create a dynamic dashboard, which will entail, number one, summary of sales by day, month, and quarter. See, quarterly here. So this is what I want us to confirm. This is what I want us to achieve. A dynamic dashboard, summary of sales by day, month, and in a quarterly basis. This is what I want us to achieve. For those who are joining, someone can reshare the same doc so that the rest can also have it. For those who are joining, maybe someone can reshare the doc so that the rest can also see what you're doing. I want us to do something very magical, and you'll tell me if at all you've ever imagined Excel can do such what you want to do. And I want us to do it together. That's why it is practical. I want us to do it together. That's why it is practical. For those who are downloading, open that document first. Open the doc first. So now, this is what we want to achieve. A summary, as we've said, we want to achieve a summary of days, quarterly, and months. Imagine you're given, say, like, you're given, say, like, almost say, like, 1,000 or maybe 10,000 number of transactions. I want us to see how, if at all this simple tool in Excel can enable us to achieve this. What about Power Business Intelligence? Kindly let us follow Mwalimu step by step. Let us follow Mwalimu step by step. Let us do this, all of us, step by step. Step by step. Number one, there's a tool that we are going to use known as what? Pivot table. There's a tool that you're going to use known as what? Pivot table. I'm going to relate it with what you'll be doing, of course, in advanced Excel. There's a tool that you're using, which is known as what? Pivot table. So what I want us to do, kindly let us follow this procedure, all of us together. Let us follow this procedure, all of us together. In our data set, press your cursor anywhere in our data set. Press your cursor anywhere in our data set. Press your cursor anywhere within our data set in this table that you're having, okay? The next step I want you to do, in our menu here, come to insert. Come to insert. Click insert. Kindly let us do this together. I want us all to be on the same page. I want us all to be on the same page. Let us do this together. I want us all to be on the same page. I want us all to be on the same page. So you're doing this together. So once there, we go to pivot table. We go to pivot table. So we click pivot, then we take from table range. See, we have the dialog box here appearing. The data has highlighted literally everything. In this case, we want to choose where we want our pivot table to be placed, either on a new worksheet or on an existing worksheet. We want it on a new worksheet. We want it on a new worksheet. So we click OK. So guys, I want you to see this magic. Imagine all the process that you'll always tend to follow to present your data, to do your summary. You can do that within few clicks. You can do that within few clicks. You can do that within few clicks. So what we want to achieve, number one, is to prepare my sales summary on a daily basis. We want to prepare our sales summary on a daily basis. So how do you go about it? You come and check. You see on your pivot table fields. You see on your pivot table fields. I want you to do this. You check the days. Then you come and check the cells. Voila. Within few clicks, you have a summary of your daily cells. Within few clicks, you have a summary of your daily cells within some few clicks. The next item that I want us to do is to make sure that we are showing the users that, you know what, this is not just a row label. In this case, I am dealing with a particular data, which is day. So kindly, let us go together following these steps. Let us follow these steps together. Come and place your cursor where we have row labels. Come and place your cursor where we have row labels. Then come and click design. Come and click design. For those who are joining, of course, someone can always reshare the document. Come and click design. Under design, let us do this together. Follow these steps, step by step. We come to report layout. We come to report layout. We come to report layout. Then we click that drop down. Then we click that drop down. Okay, then we click that drop down. On that case, we come and show in tabular form. See, come and click show in tabular form. Come and click show in tabular form. So that once that has been achieved, we have our set here. We have a simple set here. So it will tell us that whatever that you've done, we literally prepared summary of days and summary of our cells. But I want a presentation in form of visual. We want to visualize. We want to visualize this information. So how will we visualize this information? Again, let us do this together. You come and click, of course, insert. Come and click pivot chart on this drop down. We click pivot chart. So on my pivot chart, I'm going to select what do I want? Do I want the column or do I want the bar? So it is upon us to select. Maybe in this case, you can just go with what? With bar. And this is our what? This is our first set. This is our first set. So,
hello, excuse, Mwalimu, can you kindly repeat there?
in putting the graph, or?
Yes, where we go to.
Sure, no worries. You said in this case, let me delete it. Make sure that your cursor is placed within your pivot so that you come to insert, see? Then you come to pivot chart. Then you have pivot chart here. So on the pivot chart, we can select any. Like for me, I've selected this one. So this is my first set. This is our first set of the data that I am visualizing. I am trying to visualize. I am trying to visualize. See? So you can manipulate this set. In the same case, you're going to do in Power Business Intelligence. The same case. Probably I'm not a fan of this color. I don't know which color is this. Probably the ladies in the house can tell us which color is this. For me, I'll take, say, like, I want to fill it with a different color. Say, like, I believe this is red. I want to fill it with red. Because probably I felt like the other color maybe wasn't suiting me. By filling that, you just click your bar, then you right click, then you come to this fill icon. You fill your set. You fill your set. So we've achieved the first segment. What you're going to do, we rename this sheet, we term it as what? Daily summary. This daily summary. See? This daily sum. You can just have it there as a daily summary. Remember our task. We were supposed to prepare days, month, and quarterly. So once I have this, I don't need to repeat these steps all over again. What you can do, just come and add another sheet. Just come and add another sheet.
I was unable to put daily summary. How do you put it?
The daily cells.
Yes.
Felicity, you're asking to put your daily cells where exactly?
You said that we give it a title, how to rename it. You know, we are moving here and there. So that is the challenge, maybe.
This sheet, renaming the sheet, the normal way, like while here, you of course right click, then you rename. You
That's
see,
fine.
on that sheet, you right click, then you rename. Is that okay, Felix?
That one is fine. That one is okay.
Great. So you said you go to another sheet. On this new sheet that you're having, what you can do, I come and take this set. You see this set? You just copy. Copy, you do what? Control C. Come to this sheet, Control V, yeah? So you just copy this. Remember copying the shortcut. You highlight to Control C, then on the new sheet, you Control V. So now what I want is monthly sales. So I'm going to remove on my pivot table, we remove days, okay? Then we put what? Month. See that magic. Within few clicks, you have your data. Within few clicks, you have your set. Within few clicks, you have your set. Within few clicks, you have your set. You see? So we have our set month and sum of cells. I need to input my chart. What are we going to do? The same procedure. You come insert, you come pivot chart. This time round, we can decide to use what? Our bar. We use our bar graph here. This is what we're having. Use our bar graph at this point. See? We use our bar graph here. Use our bar graph at that point. See? If at all you feel like you don't want these colors, you can put any color of your choice by highlighting the bar. You right click, you fill, you put in the color of your choice. You put in the color of your choice. You put in the color of your choice here. See? Put in the color of your choice. So that is the second segment, which we have in what? Monthly summary. So we just rename this monthly summary. See? We rename this as a monthly summary. I go and open another sheet. I go and open another sheet. So this sheet of ours, again, I can come, I copy paste this set, Control C, I come and do what? Control V. You see? And I believe you guys are having your PCs, of course, because that is when you're going to learn more. If at all you're having your machine with you there. So once I have this set, the next segment or the next important element would be, once I click at this point, right now I need quarter. So I uncheck month, I check quarter. I check quarter. So the same procedure I want to visualize. I want to visualize my quarterly sales. So how will we visualize our quarterly sales? The same procedure, you come insert, you come your pivot chart. This time round, maybe I want to use my pie chart. And pie chart, I want to use my donut. So if I click OK, this is my donut, but it doesn't seem like a donut, yeah? This is like a tire. These are like a car tire. So let us make it to be like a donut, yeah? So to make it like a donut, you just right click, or you click the sheet, you right click, we come and format data series, yeah? So format data series, we kind of, we want to reduce the donut hole. So that, yeah, somehow like a donut. Yeah, that looks like a donut. The other time it was looking like a tire, a car tire, yeah? Make sure that you're achieving this. Make sure you're achieving this.
Mwalimu, you are too fast. Do you
I'm
kindly
too fast.
Yes.
Sure, I'll do it again. Yeah, I'll do it again. You know, I'm assuming that all of us have a knowledge of basic Excel. So I'll stop that assumption. So we go and do this, like once here, you come and do pivot chart. We do pivot chart, you see? The normal way we are doing is the other ones. We do pivot chart. Under that bit we said, right now I'm going to select pie chart. Remember, you can select any visualization that you want. You can select any visualization that you want. What Mwalimu does here, I'm just selecting like pie chart. You can select a line, you can select column. Now, based on your judgment, you look at it. The same concept you'll be using in Power BI. You look at it based on your judgment. Which visualization will it fit whatever that you want to present? So after you have your pie, you see these icons for pie charts here. These are the icons for pie charts. In this context, for me, I'm going to select my donut chart. The moment I select my donut chart, then I do OK, you'll find that it doesn't look like a donut. Yeah, it looks like a tire, it looks like a car tire. But I feel like I need to have a donut shape. So to have my donut shape, we are asking ourselves, what are we going to do? So to do this, you just click on that donut, on the shape, you right click, you come to format data series. On my donut hole size, we reduce. Donut hole size, we reduce. See, it reduces up to the point that you'll feel, based on your judgment, you feel like, this now looks like a donut and not like a tire. It looks like a donut and not like a tire. See, so once that has been achieved, this is what we have. Felix, we are on the same page. Great.
Yes.
So now what we've done, we have visualized. See this set. Assuming you had even say like 1,000 or even 10,000 transactions. Within some few steps, you have your daily summaries in graph presented, you have your monthly sales presented, and you have your quarterly sales presented. So we can rename this and have it as what? Quarterly sales. Now, guys, this is where the magic will come in. This is where the magic will come in. I want us to automate. I want us to automate this set of hours. I want us to automate this set of hours. See? So how are we going to automate? I want us to open a new sheet. This sheet, we can call it dashboard. This sheet, we can call it what? Dashboard. This sheet, we can call it dashboard. This sheet, we can call it dashboard. We can call this sheet dashboard. Okay? We can call this sheet what? Dashboard. So make sure that you're achieving this. We can call this what? Dashboard. See? We can call it this what? Dashboard. So once that has been achieved, the next item that you're supposed to do is to make sure that we've done what? We copy paste this. Just come and click your graph, copy, and have it here in our dashboard. Come and do what? Come and paste. It's just copy, pasting. Nothing fancy we're doing. We come to our monthly sales. You right click, copy, come to your dashboard, you paste it here. See, come to your dashboard, you paste it. See? The same case, come to your quarterly sales, we copy, we come to our dashboard, we paste. See? we are doing what we are doing here, just copy, pasting, just copy, pasting. See, just copy, pasting. Just copy, pasting. Just copy, pasting. We are copy pasting the graphs. Okay? We are just copy pasting the graphs. We are just copy pasting the graphs. So once this has been achieved, the next important thing that I want us to do, I want us to pay attention here clearly. I want us to pay attention here very well. This is a point whereby we need to pay much attention. This is a point whereby we need to pay much attention. I want us to visualize, or rather, I want us to connect our set. This is now where it will be about automation. We'll be about automation. We'll be about automation. So kindly, Mwalimu will try to be very slow at this point because this next step is very important. This next step is very important. So I'm going to try to be as slow as I can. I'm going to try to be as slow as I can. So kindly, let us do this together. I want us to click any of our graphs. I want us to click any of our graphs. I want us to click any of our graphs. After clicking any of our graphs, kindly let us do this together. Come, of course, just click any of your graph. We come and click insert. We come and click insert. After clicking insert, do this. Come and click slicers. Come and click what? Slicer. Come and click slicer. Once you're done with clicking slicer, what do you want to achieve? We want to achieve, number one, we have the daily summary. We have, this is a day, month, and quarter, because that is the graph that we presented. Then you do okay. Then you do what? We do okay. Then you do okay. Make sure that you're achieving this. Make sure that you're achieving this. Make sure that you're achieving this.
Sorry, Mwalimu, I think you went a bit faster. I didn't. I missed
Where exactly?
How you splitted the slices to daily, monthly, and
sure, no worries. I
quarter.
can repeat the process. So like in this case, let me do this. We start again. No worries. We must understand this. So okay, we said we are starting by clicking any of our graphs. Okay. Then we come to insert. Once we have insert, we come and do slicer. Now under our slicer, we have these three graphs representing, you click day, you click month, and you click quarter. So once that has been achieved, you just do okay. See? So what I'm doing, I'm just moving this. We are just moving this now besides our graphs so that they should not, of course, overlie in our set. So this is what you're having our slicers, whatever that we've inserted. Now, again here, it will depend with your creativity of presenting your data. So presenting our set, I can see my quarter, there's a whole blank space in below. So because there are only 4, I can put them in column 1 so that they can lie on one row. I'll want to put them on one row. See? So what you can do, under slicer here, I want us all to see this. See, under slicer here, there is this column. While on quarter, first of all, you click quarter. Then under slicer here, you can see these columns. So let us increase this column to 4 columns. So just increase 2, 3, 4. I repeat, initially we had 1, and that's why you can see the quarter is this. So as I've said, this will purely depend with our creativity. In this set, I want to do this presentation to the board of directors. They want something neat. You see, they want something neat. And because they want something neat, in this case, you'll find that I'm going to do what? I'm going to give them this, of course, presentation to be in a very neat manner. You see? So once we have that in mind, in this case, what we'll be doing, then we will have to do what? Just a moment. So what you're going to do, we say that we are increasing what? These slicers here. We are increasing the slicers. We are increasing the slicers. So you can see that under quarters, we now have what? We now have, of course, 4 columns. We now have 4 columns. We now have 4 columns. So once this has been achieved, of course, we just drag it and we have it at this point. We just drag it and we have at this point. We just drag it and we have at that point. So once that has been achieved, of course, the next item that you're supposed to do here will be, of course, for us to go to the next stage. Now we want to connect. We want to connect these slicers. Yes.
Excuse me, Lima, I'm trying to see where we are increasing that slicer, and I don't know whether it is not coming in. I should go to home, not insert.
Not home. You see under slicer here, right?
Yes, the slicer I can see when I'm in insert page, right?
No, you're not on insert page. You've clicked that slicer that you want to increase, right? The quarter.
Okay.
Then there's that slicer part there, right?
Okay, just a moment.
You've seen it there?
Yes,
I've received that.
I've received.
Yeah, so that in this case you increase what? You increase your columns to be 4 columns. You have 4 columns. You have 4 columns. So that we achieve this. Make sure that we've achieved this, right? Make sure that we have achieved that. Make sure that you've achieved that. So once that has been achieved, of course, the next item is for us to connect our set. See, for us to connect our set. So how will you connect our set? To connect our set is simple here. All we need to do is to come and again click insert. Confirm that everything is set, whatever that we had. So in any of our slicer, you right click. In any of our slicer, you do what? You right click. in any of our slicer, you right click. Then you come and click report connections. See, you come and click report connections. I repeat this procedure again. Once you have these slicers here, we said you right click, then you come and click report connections. You come and click report connections. So you check all these elements, you click OK. You come to the next slicer, you right click, you report connections, you see, you click OK. You come to this bit, you right click, report connections, you check. I repeat again, on each slicer, you right click, you come report connections, you check all. On this other end, the same procedure, you right click, you report connections, you check all. The same case here, right click, report connection, you check all. Now, I want you guys to see this magic. I want you to see what you have achieved. I want you guys to see now what you have achieved. So the moment I click Q1, see what is happening. See your dashboard. It is giving us Q1. We have, see this. Let me do this again so that you can see. If at all you have connected, if at all you have connected your set, if at all you've connected your set, right? If at all you've connected your set, this is what you should be having. So a moment here, let me lock share screen. Okay, once you have connected that, yeah, Mwalimu is saying, come and click select Q1. See this magic. See this magic. The moment I click Q1, you see what is happening to your data? You have literally automated it. It is giving us the same Q1. This is the data. This is what you're having. If at all I want Q2, see what is happening? It is giving us for each period. Like, in Q2, now I'm doing my presentation to the board. I just come to the board and tell the board that my presentation for Q2, this is what we had. In June, these are value. May, these are value. And the most interesting part, by the way, we could have added it there, but still you can add it here still. There is item that you normally let us do this. You see, we don't have values, yeah? We don't have the specific values for these bars. So what I want us to do, this is something that we can add just right now. I want us to do this together. You see, on each item, like on each bar, let us do this together kindly. Instead of us following like on this line what we've achieved, we can simply add. So come and click in our bar chart, anywhere within our bar. You right click. We are doing this together. We've said you click on your bar. That is, if I told you click on your bar, you should click everything. You right click. Come add data labels. Then add data labels. The figures will appear in each of our bar. The figures will appear in each of our bar. The same case with where we have in this set. Click your bar. You right click. You come and add data labels. You see, each and every segment will have what? Will have this set. Each and every segment will have this set. So now, because you don't want your values or your data to be very populated, you can come and remove these values between. See in our axis here, you just click, then you delete. You just click the value, then you just delete that component. The same case, you can come, then you do what? You delete. I don't want this, so what you can do, you can just delete. So that we have our values represented on our graphs. Our values represented on our graphs. See? So Morimo is saying that once you click quarter one, for example, you'll see my set. Now I'm doing my presentation to the board. In January, in quarter one, January, we had the March sales. We had 34 compared to the rest. And the same quarter, the days that we were making a lot of sales was Saturday. Which industry are we in? Are we in probably a recreational center where Saturday is probably the time that most of the people normally visit? Because in this case, you can establish in quarter one, during Saturdays, we were making a lot of sales. So what were we doing on Saturdays so that we can replicate to the other days, if at all I'm not in a recreational center? Because the aspect of the places of enjoyment, that is where we normally expect to make a lot of sales in say like on weekends. I can see again, followed by that was Sunday. Could it be that we are in a recreational center? Of course, that one will always establish before that. But again, in this case, we'll find that why is it that Friday we're having the least sales? Why is it that Friday we're having the least sales? Why is it that on Friday we have the least sales? Why is it that on Friday we're having the least sales? What can we do to improve? You do that analysis. You come to quarter two. Quarter two, again, you present your set. Again in quarter two, which is April, May, June, this is Saturday again. I'm having a lot of sales. What is happening on Saturdays? Why do we have a lot of sales on Saturdays? In this period, I'm having unusual more sales, 54,000 compared to quarter one. Could it be because people are on holiday? Is it that because maybe children have closed schools? That's why we have a lot of these sales. What is the reason? See? So literally, you're not doing your presentation like just using the PowerPoint the way we always use a PowerPoint. No. Here, we are going a bit further and giving the reasons why we are having this and this. So you'll find that in Excel, it cannot give us a reason unless we analyze ourselves. But what Power BI will do, Power Business Intelligence will give us a reason why we are having higher sales in Saturdays and why we're having lower sales in Fridays, or rather on Fridays. Why is it that in May, we're having, of course, these sales compared to June? So Excel cannot predict and give us the results. But you'll realize that Power BI now, Power Business Intelligence, will be able to give us the reasons why we are having what? Why we are having these sales. Why we are having these sales. Power BI now will be able to give us what? To give us the reasons. So that's the most important element with what? With Power Business Intelligence. So you can see you have automated your set. You can come check. You want the details for only August. Come and click only August. Total August, we made a sales of 6,700. In August, Thursdays, we had higher sales. Why did we have higher sales on Thursdays in August? You give the reason. You come December. The moment you click December, this was our data for December. December is in quarter four. In December, these are our sales. Literally, what you've done, you have automated your data, not just like PowerPoint presentation. So this is what Excel does. So imagine what Power BI will do, given that Power Business Intelligence will also give us specific reasons why we are having this and not this, why we are having this and not this. So I've realized that majority probably, guys, this is advanced Excel. So in this case, I'll also suggest, if at all, of course, you are open. So this training, we had planned it for Power Business Intelligence, but we can see how we can integrate maybe with advanced Excel, because I think this knowledge will also help you a lot, because this is just part of whatever that we've done in, these are a bit of advanced Excel, a bit, which you can do all of these things. So now what Power BI does, it is integration of whatever that we have in our Excel and integration with artificial intelligence component, with the ability to do more insights and also give us the reasons why things are happening. See? So that's the most important element with Power Business Intelligence. See? So I want to make sure that all of us, we've achieved this. So if at all you've achieved this automation, kindly raise your hand. If at all you've achieved this automation, kindly raise your hand. If at all you've achieved this automation, I want to see by the raise of your hands, guys, if at all you've achieved the automation part, because that is that is important. That is important. If you are told you've achieved the automation, raise your hand or give a thumbs up. I can see Ezekiel, yeah. If at all you've achieved this automation, I'm going to share the same Excel in our groups. I'm going to share the same Excel workbook in our groups. If at all you've achieved this automation, raise your hand.
Malimo?
Great, yes?
My problem is how to make the quarters in rows. Otherwise, I've achieved the rest.
You said your issue is achieving what?
My problem is achieving the quarter, putting them in rows, the way they're appearing now.
Okay, but the rest
That's
is
my only
right?
problem.
Yeah, FM 60%. If at all you've achieved this automation, kindly raise your hand. Achieving. If at all you've achieved the automation part, if at all you've achieved the automation part, thumbs up or raise your hands. Good. Good. I can see, of course, majority have raised. Great. So I'm answering the question right now. Great. Great. Yeah, majority of us have achieved that. So as I was saying, like in this context, remember, this is just a snippet of what we'll be having in Power Business Intelligence. Actually, what we've done, we've only used Excel, but the Power Business Intelligence will be achieving the same results. But in this case, we will be achieving it with artificial intelligence concepts. We'll be achieving the same with artificial intelligence components. So in this context, today was just an overview of course, Power BI and what it does. So what we'll be having our classes for Power Business Intelligence, as you said, our classes will be running from, in this case, we'll be having classes on, that is Mondays. Let me have it here so that you can all. So our classes for Power BI, will be Mondays, of course, from 7, this is PM, to, of course, around 8:30 PM. This is Mondays, Wednesdays, and of course, Fridays. This one will be having, of course, our classes for live virtual, and Saturdays we'll be doing a project. Saturdays we'll be having projects, individual projects to handle, whereby you do your project, you present it, This will be, of course, week 1. We said we'll be having 2 weeks for the same. So this will be week 1. The same program will run in week 2. The same program will run in week 2, whereby we do Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturday will be a project, individual projects, so that once we are through with these classes, then each and every person will be given a project. This project you must do to completion using, of course, Power BI. You must do this project to completion. You must do this project to completion. So that once you're done with the project, of course, that is when, of course, we will be able to do what? That is when we will be able to get what? To get a certificate. We'll be able to get a certificate only after we've achieved this and you presented your project. Now, of course, as I mentioned, after we are through the 2 weeks, you'll have an access of 3 months on the platform. You'll have an access of 3 months on the platform. Having access of 3 months on the platform to do more training, both of whatever that we've covered and what we will be having more. So in this case, 2 weeks training, 3 months access on the platform. And the investment for this whole of this project or for the whole of this course, ideally we usually charge 10,000, but we said for this training we're only giving at 5,000 shillings, only. And if at all you feel you cannot pay all this at once, we can allow you to, of course, pay part payment, so that once you are through the part payment, what you can do, you'll find that you can clear the rest before we finish. So part payment, you can be required to pay like 50%, so that before we finish, you clear the other 50%. Then a thought has just come, because I feel like we also need advanced Excel classes. So I think also within the same case, like we can do advanced Excels on Tuesdays, these times that we don't have classes, Tuesdays majorly and Thursdays. We can do advanced Excel. Within this period, of course, advanced Excel, it can proceed, but this one, of course, that is Tuesdays and Thursdays where we don't have classes. We can be doing, say, like advanced Excels, and probably partly Saturday, because part Saturday will be our project day. We can also decide that maybe the Saturdays. So other than us doing our project, we can also look at what? Advanced Excel, because I feel like it is also important to have this knowledge of what? Advanced Excel. It will also be very important to us. That is just to widen our scope of understanding when it comes to what? When it comes to matters of skills. Because right now, I'll be very frank with you, nowadays and where we are heading, also in the line of finance, yeah? Also in the line of finance, the skills that you do have, more so in Excel, there's this concept known as VLOOKUP. It is a very powerful concept and tool that it is used majorly, even in your organizations. You'll just find that your CFO has asked for data. In this case, you just find your CFO is using VLOOKUP. He has given, or rather, he has established what he wants to establish. He moves to the next element. So again, advanced Excel concept, you can think over it. You can think over the same case, advanced Excel, because it is also a very key component. So I think for advanced Excel, I'll communicate about it in terms of the pricing as well. And in this case, you'll find that yes, very necessary, because but then for those who are doing CPA and probably you're doing anyway, all of us will be doing a BDA if at all you've not done. You'll find that if at all you're good in advanced Excel, BDA will just be a walk of the park. That one I can assure you for a fact. If at all you're good in advanced Excel, BDA will just be a walk on the park. The only thing that now we'll add in BDA is to understand the functions, which some of these functions will also be doing, of course, in what? we'll also be doing in Advanced Excel. So, of course, Advanced Excel, I'll talk more about the same when we meet on a Monday, because on a Monday is when we'll be starting officially our Power Business Intelligence class. So I think for Advanced Excel pricing and the rest, I think I can communicate that on a Monday when we'll be having official class for Power Business Intelligence, So then in this context, what you're asking here, project and table, project, it will be the sooner you clear it, the better for you. Because once you clear your project, it will be open. Once you clear your project is when you submit. So that one, it will be purely open. So at this point, as I've said, literally, we meet on Monday. That is when we'll be starting our classes for Power BI officially. Remember today we've just done a snippet of what will be expected to cover in Power Business Intelligence. So probably any question, anyone who has a question. FM, have I answered your question?
Quick one, Mwalimu. This is Samuel.
Yes, Samuel.
Yeah, my account seems to be deactivated, so it will be a bit challenging for me to access the pre-recorded version.
The account is deactivated?
Yes.
No worries, that one is going to be sorted out. I'm going to sort it out immediately after this, okay? It's showing you the aspect to do with the organizational code.
Yes.
Yeah, sure, no worries. It's something that you are doing. That's why it's showing like that. Once that is completed, you can just log in the normal way, okay? You can just log in the normal way. Is that okay?
Yes, then briefly to take you back.
Okay.
Today we understand from power of the Power BI.
Samuel, you're saying?
Yeah, actually, today we learned about Power Pivot Table. So I was like, how different is it from Power Pivot?
It is so different in a way. It is so different from so different from Power Pivot. Because remember, like when you're talking, of course, in that case, we normally work it out in Advanced Excel, but there's a lot of difference between Pivot Table and Power Pivot. So there are some elements that they share.
Okay. Do they work the same like with the Power Query?
Yeah.
Do they work the same like the Power Query?
Power Query now is literally for cleaning the data. You see, whereas whenever we're doing about Power, maybe just to get the difference, Power Query, we normally use it to clean our data. Power Pivot is more to do with data modeling, whereby in this case, we can combine and analyze the large volumes of our set. You see, whereas Pivot Table, it is more to do with what? Presentation. You see? So like the difference would be Power Pivot, in this case, we find that this is more to do with modeling. See, more to do with data modeling. Then we have, of course, Pivot Table, whatever that we've done right now. This is a Pivot Table is more to do with what? More to do with the presentation. See, this is more to do with the presentation. Whereas, of course, the query, this is more to do with what? Aspect to do with data cleaning for query. More to do with what? More to do with that's data cleaning, whereby you find that if I don't be having time, I could have shown you here, whereby the same concept you'd find that we are going to get this in terms of Power Business Intelligence. You see, in Power BI, let me show you something so that you can relate. So Power Query is cleaning. Power Query is more of a cleaning. Let me open this case of ours, Power BI. So we have So you'll find that when you jump to Power BI, later on you'll find that there are some elements. Power Query actually has been integrated to Power BI. Whenever you hear about transforming our data, in transformation of our data, that is when we'll be using what? Power Query, which in Excel, if at all it is standalone in Excel, we've said it is used for cleaning our data. This is purely for what? For cleaning our data. This is purely for cleaning our data. So this is the difference. For pivot modeling, pivot table, presentation, or simply the aspect of visualization, for query, cleaning. That's the difference, Sam.
Okay, noted.
Right? Yes, FM, our payment details, FM, I've seen you've asked, just use our pay bill number, that is M-Pesa pay bill, M-Pesa pay bill number, that is 429431. Your account number or an account number, you just have, say, like maybe FM, say dash what? Power BI, PBI. So that's what you're going to use if at all you are making the payment on your pay bill. So these are what you've done. I believe you guys have learned something, and this is just but Excel. So the same concept, you're going to use the same concept when we'll be dealing with aspect to do what? Aspect of our Power Business Intelligence. So this was just but an intro class, where our official class for Power BI, of course, we are going to start on Monday. Faustina, I'd already shared the plan, which I'll share again. Yes, please.
I was just having maybe a request. Could you kindly tell class to start from 7:30 so that sometimes we are affected by jam. So I don't know whether the team can also have the same suggestion. Alafu, then the second thing is that is there any way you are putting control so that we don't have strangers getting into the meetings?
No, this was just open. This was open. That's why you find that the strangers have joined. This was just open. But yeah, we normally tend to put control. So this was open meeting. And one mistake that I did, I allowed the guys to share screen. That's what I did. So basically, of course, control is always there. That was just a slip. Control is always there. See? Is that okay, Felix? Great. So 7, I think 7